Good morning, everyone. I'm in the tiny hamlet of Leusdon, which is up above the River Dart. And I'm heading towards the pretty little hamlet of Ponsworthy to start with. So a little bit of walking along lanes up to there. The walk I'm doing today is the famous Dr. BLACKALL'S drive, which takes up about half of the walk. Might be a little less, I don't know, but anyway, I'm starting this walk quite high up, and so of course that will involve quite a climb up at the end back up to Leusdon. Weather's a bit mixed today. It says it won't rain, but then it said that the other day. It's a very pretty walk, this is. It's a lovely walk. And it's one that I extended a little last year to allow for some crossing of moorland on the Two Moors Way. The little extension starts at Ponsworthy. Yes, I've tweaked it a few times over the years, this walk. I think I did it 3 times last year. Can you believe that? 3 times. Be able to get around whatever it is that's closed the road. Second to last day here on Dartmoor. Look at that down there. Might as well walk along this old track for a while. How straight those trees are. Gosh. So this walk includes some moorland, the wonderful Dr. BLACKALL'S drive, which overlooks the Dart Gorge. Beautiful, beautiful place. Some more woodland, and a very steep climb at the end, and of course the River Dart. Down at the bottom you walk alongside the beautiful River Dart. The last time I was here it wasn't so beautiful. There was some obvious pollution there, which I hope they've managed to fix. It used to be a beautiful place to swim. I've swum in it there. Right, let's get back onto the lane. I mean, it's quite a few years since I did swim in the Dart, but I do intend to do it again. Anyway, here we are at Ponsworthy. It's got a sweet little stream that runs through. Last time I was here it was absolutely pouring with rain. In fact, it poured with rain all the way through the walk. That cottage is called the Splash. I wonder why. Splash Cottage. Anyway, we walk up this steep lane now and we will be going off-road at the top. Look at that Virginia creeper. Always turns that rich red colour at this time of year. My son's old school used to have that all over the old building. Quite a steep climb this. Wouldn't want to cycle up here. Couldn't cycle up here. Move the camera a bit. If you do this walk and you're looking for somewhere to park where you don't have to pay and display, Dartmoor introduced parking charges a year or so ago for car parks that used to be free. Newbridge, where we'll be going at the bottom of the docks of BLACKALL'S Drive, is one of them. There's another car park up here that's another pay and display. I parked up above, well, at Leusdon. Plenty of parking around there. Not too far to the top here, and then we get onto moorland. Been looking at a website all about the supernatural sightings of various types on Dartmoor. It's quite interesting. I knew about some of them. Some of them are quite ludicrous. A lot of them involve the devil. I drove through village of Poundsgate and there's an old pub there called the Tavistock Inn. Which, the story goes, this bloke popped into the inn for a drink, like you do. and he ordered the pint. But the landlady suddenly realised that he was the devil. How did she know that? Because apparently she looked down and saw his feet, which were cloven feet. I mean, presumably he didn't have any horns or whatever. She must have been on the sauce a bit. Oh, he's got cloven feet, he must be the devil. Anyway, I'll serve him a beer. So she did. Must have been back in the days when you got a beer and then you pay for it on the way out. And he paid for it on the way out, and when she went to get the money off the plate or counter or whatever, it turned to leaves. Yeah. Landlady, you must have drunk a bit too much of your own sauce. Anyway, it's famous for that. In our family, it's also famous for taking my son there when he was in the terrible twos phase, in his screaming phase. He would scream like Violet Elizabeth on Just William whenever he didn't want to be somewhere. He screamed so much in there we had to drink up quickly and leave. Probably worse than the devil, actually. Now we are heading for the right hand corner of those trees. There's a little farmhouse there, and we're going kind of round the back, and then there should be a straight route that takes us through the heather and eventually to the car park above Dr. BLACKALL'S drive. Oops. Nice view. Shame there's no sun, but at least it's not raining. The moorland here has a kind of spongy feel because I think it's on peat, which is kind of spongy. We've still got gorse, we've got little bits of heather. Some heather over there. It's very quiet, and that's what I like. I like silence, I really like silence. I've been reading a book all about introverts, which apparently half the population is an introvert. That's 50%. Oh, it's not a black and white thing, you know, it's a sort of spectrum, isn't there? But this amazing book, I was going, yes, that's me, all the way through. And it actually taught me that it's perfectly okay to be an introvert, and don't try to be who you're not. I'm doing an online life coaching course at the moment, over 4 sessions, talking with a life coach online, and she has given me various exercises to do in between sessions. Are very, very helpful. And so far it's actually taught me that no, my aim for life is not to suddenly become extrovert and have zillions of friends and go out socialising 7 days a week. No, because that's not me. It's taught me to be true to who I am, but also to push it a bit, but towards things that fit in with the way I am, not trying to be someone I am not. Now, I think we go up there where that green path is between the bracken. Should take us to a wall at the top. That's the remote farmhouse down there. Oh, I think I'll have a drink. Heading to the car park at Beltor. Look at the way these trees become part of the wall, really. Beech trees. All this bracken, it's all changing, isn't it? Becoming autumnal. Oh, it's fantastic up here. It's not terribly windy. It's Just a bit of a breeze. Coming up to the road. Which we will cross to the car park. Beautiful, beautiful view. Poundsgate with its devil visitor is down there on the left. I stayed in Poundsgate village a couple of years ago. That's when I did this walk in the rain. So here's Beltor car park. Funny how these car parks are pretty much empty now since they introduced the pay and display. So I wonder if it costs them more money to install that than they're actually reaping back in terms of pay and display money. And maybe they are in the height of summer. That must be Beltor over there. And we're heading to the beginning of Dr. BLACKALL'S drive. I'll tell you about Dr. BLACKALL. He was a 19th century, I think 19th, not 18th. I think it was 19th century doctor based in Exeter. Days of private doctors. They made a lot of money, and his father was a physician, and his father died and he inherited a heck of a lot of money. Got Beltor there. And with this money he bought the manor of Spitchwick, and we'll be walking past Spitchwick Manor later on. And it included all this as well with it. And he really, really liked the Dart Gorge, which we'll be walking along. And so he had built a drive that snakes its way along the top of the gorge, just wide enough for a coach and a couple of horses. And he would drive along it and take his visitors and guests to see the wonderful Dart Gorge. He actually still, his primary residence and practice was in Exeter, but he used to come here as his kind of getaway residence, summer residence. They reckon it was one of the first tourist trails, Dr. BLACKALL'S drive. It's got glorious views, as you can imagine. And it's one of my favourite Dartmoor places. So the drive gradually goes downhill. the birds sat on those telegraph wires. Reminds me of that Leonard Cohen song, Like a Bird on a Wire. So this takes us to the drive. I think this must be part of the original drive. It's got a damp feeling at the air, sort of damp. But tomorrow, apparently it's going to be big suns all day for my final video on Dartmoor with my bike. I imagine back in Dr. Blackall's day, the ground was a lot less stony because it'd be a bit of a jolting ride for a coach and horses. Before too long it opens up across the Dart Gorge, the River Dart Gorge, for stunning views. Hello, little dog. Hello. Hello. Hello, good. I love watching that programme on telly, The Dog House, where all these rescued dogs find new homes. Oh, I love that sort of programme. Makes me smile. I think they need to do a cat version though. That would be really, really nice. Like our cat, Jasper. Monster, big, huge Jasper. Tabby cat is of course a rescued cat. Poor boy. He's got a really sad history, but he's lived in the lap of luxury, ruling our household for the last 6 years now, I think. And our cat before that, Amber, she was also a rescued cat, and she was with us for 8 years until she got run over right outside our house, and we just live on a normal, quiet road. So you never know, it's just fluke sometimes. Hello, little calf. Hello. And of course we watch the Yorkshire Vet. Julian on the Yorkshire Vet TV programme was a vet who my son's girlfriend family used and use. Sadly had to put their dog to sleep, their elderly dog. You and my son was there when that was happening. Oh, very sad. Love animals. As children we were never allowed to have pets, purely because my dad didn't want any pets. He didn't think about us, he just said we weren't allowed to have pets. But the irony is, I had a cat back in the day, just after I'd graduated from uni in Sheffield, and I moved into a flat where we weren't allowed to have pets, and so my mum said, okay, we'll look after her for a few weeks, and actually she was there with them for over 10 years until she died of old age at the age of about 20. I think she was there for longer than 12 years. Because I had her for about 3, and must have been about 17 years, gosh. And she took to my dad. She would not leave him alone. She purred, she rubbed herself on him, she sat on his knee, she sat on his bed. She just absolutely adored my dad. And actually my dad, who's always said he would never want any pets, adored her. How wonderful. And I often wonder now if there's such a thing as the afterlife, and he's up there sitting with the cat on his knee. I love that thought. Oh, Dr. Blackall, I think this would have been quite bumpy for your carriage wheels. Look at this. We're coming up to the Dart Gorge now. The path sort of swings round, and there it is in all its glory. There are few, if any, paths through those trees on the other side, strangely enough. But we have this wonderful path thanks to, nearly said Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Blackall. You can begin to see a vista opening up. One tree with berries breaking up the greenery. I think the first time I did this walk must have been around 1987, 88, when me and my boyfriend before, my husband, used to go walking. We began to go walking after not being walkers at all. I was like, we were both goths, original goths, and goths don't go walking in the countryside, no. But we grew out of that phase together and started going on walks, and we came to Dartmoor every year. Tradition I carried on when I met my husband. And as I said on one of my other videos from this week, we spent our honeymoon on Dartmoor in November. I didn't have video cameras when I first used to come. Well, they might have done, but they were about the size of a house. And still didn't have digital cameras either, so I wanted to get a panoramic view of the Dart Gorge, but I've got pictures somewhere where I've taken several pictures and sellotaped them together to get a panoramic picture. Oh, back in the day, hey? That's one thing that doesn't seem to feature on the ghosts and other creepy stories of Dartmoor. There's no mention of that there might be a ghost of Dr. Blackall along here with his coach and horses. One very sad supernatural-ish, story is of Jay's grave that I'll cycle past tomorrow with any luck, high upon Dartmoor, not too far from Haytor. It's back in I don't know how many years ago, that Kitty J was a servant girl who got pregnant and got fired from her job. Oh, she was a farm girl, that's it. Got fired from her job because she was pregnant and she had nowhere to turn, and tragically took her own life, hanged herself. And cruelly, back in those days, the law was that if someone died through suicide, took their own life, then their spirit would kind of would stay on the earth, and it would just wander around on the earth. Wouldn't be able to go to heaven or whatever. So they used to bury suicides at crossroads, and the theory being that the spirit at a crossroads wouldn't be able to find its way back home to haunt people. Presumably no signposts at crossroads in those days. So Kitty J was buried. Well, she was buried somewhere else first, apparently, but someone reburied her at where Jay's grave currently is. And mysteriously, there's always fresh flowers on the grave, and no one knows who brings them. And rumour has it, oh yeah, it's the fairies, pixies, whatever, who do that. Yeah. When there's no solution, let's say it's the fairies that do it. But it's a very sad story. And it is a real grave. We'll stop and take a look at it tomorrow. And I'll tell the story again in case people haven't watched this video. Look at this, you can see, can you see where the Dart winds its way along the bottom? We'll be heading down to Newbridge, which is an incredibly old bridge, but I guess it was new at some point, over the River Dart. I once saw a truck get stuck on there because it's quite narrow. It's a typical BLACKALL'S bridge, and this bus or a truck or something got stuck. I mean, I guess it was freed in the end, but imagine the paintwork suffered a bit. Next year I will swim in the River Dart again. I will have to test the GoPro waterproof housing to make sure it truly is waterproof if I want to film it. I mended the clip on the GoPro waterproof housing from the other day when it was raining, when I did that walk. I had a spare clip with me, a metal clip, which I got off eBay, which is far stronger than the plastic clips that these housings come with, although touch wood, the non-waterproof housing that I've got at the moment that allows me access to the microphone. The clip's been okay on that, but I do have another metal clip coming which I'll keep with me in case it does break at some point. I was quite surprised the other day with the waterproof housing. I recorded the audio on my phone using the Rode clip-on microphone, and that works really well. So when I get back, I've just got to align the video and the audio tracks, which is quite fun. But I don't need to do that today because I've got the hole leading to the microphone. Oh, I bet they have a gorgeous view over there. See, there's some cottages. On Dartmoor there's supposed to be some cottages that... Well, it's in Chagford where we started the walk on Sunday. Some ghostly cottages that sometimes just appear, and when you go back they're not there. And there's another ghostly farmhouse apparently. I don't know, somebody needed shelter on Dartmoor because the weather can be quite brutal at times. Heading towards a farmhouse with smoke coming out of the chimney, all nice warm fire, warm myself in front of it and dry off. But then it disappeared, there was nothing there. What it is about Dartmoor that's so mystical, has so much mystery and supernatural stories. I've got a book at home called Ghosts of the Southwest, which I originally got out of the library when I was a teenager in about 1976, 75, 76. And each chapter covers a separate ghost, a separate haunting in the Southwest in general. And one of them is that visit of the devil to that Tavistock Inn in Poundsgate, just down the road here. I don't know how they managed to spend a whole chapter talking about that, but I'll check it out when I get back home, because I bought the book a few years back on second hand because I enjoyed it so much as a teenager. My son went on one of these ghost nights, ghost trails, whatever they are, at a haunted castle in Northumberland with his ex-girlfriends a couple of years back. I said nothing happened, no ghosts. What a waste. And if you get your money back if there's no evidence of ghosts. They just got very tired. My dad had a really thick book, I've got it now, called A Century of Creepy Stories, and it's got this ghostly spectre on the spine. He got given it as a gift when in the 1930s, and as a child I used to love the ghost stories in this book. I used to read them and tick them off when I'd read them all. I still got it, as I said, and I found a follow-up book too. I think it's called Century of More, or a second century of creepy stories, not ghost stories. There is one that does ghost stories, but these creepy stories is ghosts plus other creepy stuff, and that started my interest in ghostly, supernaturally things. I loved it as a teenager. I think that, you can see it down there, that path is the one that leads right down to the bottom that we'll be going down, which takes us through a wood alongside the river all the way to Newbridge. And then we walk along the river after that. It's a beautiful, beautiful walk. So stay with me, whatever part of this video that is. I love all this gorse. Not so nice if you take a wrong turn there and you end up having to walk through it. Makes me think of coastal paths. I'll do a coastal walk next time I come. Been offered a discount week in the cottage I'm staying. The reason being that the Rayburn cooker has been malfunctioning because of the storm, and I lost the heating one night and I've not been able to cook on it. So I've been eating salad. Hopefully over the phone we've managed to sort it out, but because of it they've offered me a discount in the next holiday I take there, which is very kind of them. So I'll be coming back in the spring. Just need to find a week to book. This is such a lovely place. If you're into walking and you're in this neck of the woods, do come on this walk, because it is one of the best. It really is. Especially the bit where we will walk right on the edge of the River Dart before the big climb up to Spitchwick Manor, which was what Dr. Blackall bought. This section was a bit easier on the carriage wheels. Dr. Blackall's coach. See where we've come. Sort of cliff up there, crags. I will try to come away to West Somerset again, if I can, in November to see the beautiful autumn beech woods and video them. It really depends. Hopefully my mum will be settled in her final care home number 3 by then. She moves in on the 29th of October. We would move her before then, but we can't because they're still building it. But it will be lovely. The staff are fantastic. Everything about it is fantastic. so quiet here. I love it. I'm looking for that turn on the right where we go down the hill. I think it's coming up. It's not an official path as such, but a lot of people go along it. Is it here? It's funny, I've got 2 Ordnance Survey map apps. One is actually the Ordnance Survey OS maps one, and the other one is called Outdoors, where they use Ordnance Survey maps. And the irony is the Ordnance Survey one is out of date, whereas the Outdoors one, which uses their maps, is up to date with its maps. Most curious. I have 2 because the Ordnance Survey one is easier to plot routes. It's got a snap to it, snaps to the footpaths and roads and lanes, and the other one doesn't. And the other one is prone to going offline when you need it most. Right down at the bottom, you can actually see, you probably can't with this camera, but right down at the bottom you can just about see the river. There's an interesting little book that I got. I originally got it because I was going to do a master's degree in creative writing, and it was it was on the book list that they wanted you to read before you started. I ended up having to cancel because of the post-traumatic stress disorder. I was too unwell to do the course, and I gave away all the books too. But last year, I think, I bought that book again. It's called Darts. I think it's just called Darts. It's a very slim volume, and it's just poems, writings, whatever. It's the woman, the author. She takes the River Dart from its source all the way to Dartmouth, where it goes into the sea, and she writes poems and musings along the way about it, and also facts, and she talks to people she meets along the way. It's quite a sweet little book. One thing though, I don't think it covers the fact there are 2 darts. There's the East Dart and the West Dart, and they both meet at Dart Meet. That's why it's called Dart Meet. Famous Dart Meet with its stepping stones and clapper bridge. I don't know which dart she follows to start with. You can see the white. I hope it's the white of rushing water and not pollution. Because last time I was here, there was a load of pollution had just got stuck in a kind of corner of the Dart. It was horrible. Oh, bit of blue sky up there. Oh, may we get some sun? Just looking for the track that goes down. It will be somewhere around here. Aha. This looks very much like it could be it. I don't know if that's a fire break or just a footpath break. Part of the coastal path near Kingswear, near National Trust Colton Fishacre House. I did twice last year, once with my son, once with my husband. Somebody a couple of years back had a barbecue there and it ended up setting the whole hillside on fire. Particularly difficult place to get to if you're wanting to put a fire out. They're stupid, stupid people. Look at this glorious view. It's quite steep, as you would expect. We are getting nearer and nearer the river now. It's getting a bit gloomy, isn't it? But Dartmoor is known for its unpredictable weather, especially up on High Dartmoor. As I know very well from all the years that I've walked on Dartmoor. Going back to supernatural things, of course the most famous of all is the Hound of the Baskervilles, isn't it? Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes. There's a pub I found on the map called the Hound of the Basket Meals. Oh, very clever. And you get bog and grimpen mire and featherbed, the bog with bright green kind of foliage, grass type stuff over the top, which you can sink into if you're not careful, right up on the top. Oh, bottom of the steep bit. It's not so good for your knees going downhill. Starting to be able to hear the river. I do like walking on Dartmoor. I think I like it better than cycling, actually. You get to see more stuff and you're not going past so quickly. So I don't know, maybe I won't cycle tomorrow, maybe I will walk again, I don't know. We will see. I won't do any walks that involve stepping stones because my husband's really good with me over stepping stones, because there's some that are really awful, really difficult, because they must have been put in place by people with very long legs and a very good balance. There's a particular stepping stones on one of the darts, the east or west, I don't know which. It's really tricky because one of the big rocks they put there is pointed. I mean, how stupid is that? You want flat. And I was trying to cross those last summer, and there was a woman over the other side who'd fallen off. She slipped and fallen in, and she was covered in cuts and bruises and a bit shocked and very wet. So I need someone to help me across, give me a hand. I won't be doing any of those on my own, no way. Now then, we keep on going around the corner of this fence, as I remember. I think we're at the bottom now. We're heading that way, towards Newbridge. definitely got that end of summer look and feel, hasn't it? Oh, look at the blue sky. The berries, ends of summer. I think a lot of people come walking along here from the car park and the dogs. Near the river now, down there on the right. muddy here. We will be able to see the river soon, believe me, not just to hear it. Do let me know in the comments below if you're watching this from overseas, outside the UK. I'd just be really interested. And also how you found my videos. Was it through a Google search or a YouTube search, or it just popped up on your timeline? Or of course you might be a subscriber to my channel and my various playlists. I'd just be interested to know, and it would be great if you're not a subscriber, if you could just click on subscribe. I think it's a little bell thing. That would be really good. We're coming up to the lane now. Little stream that feeds the river. So I've got a few playlists, public playlists on my channel. I've got my cycling in Yorkshire and Devon playlist, which this video is on. I've got a general Bev's travels on trains and whatever playlist, which I think I'll also put this on. And got my recorder playing playlist, and I've got a couple of others too. I've got where I started reading my blog and my book about my son's battle with anorexia. That's a playlist I haven't done anything with for a few years because I had to stop because I found it a bit triggering. And a very, very short playlist comprising, I think, 2 videos of photographs of my grandparents' travels in Vancouver, British Columbia, before the First World War. All the black and white photographs from there. So quite a lot of different things on my channel. All the time when I walk, I don't know about you, but my hands always get a bit kind of stiff. I don't know why that is. We're coming up to Newbridge and the car park. I backed into a bollard in that car park a couple of years ago. Still got the dent on my car. This is the car park, and that is the bollard. Well, it's not bollard, it's a stone. It's either that rock or that rock. Probably still got my car's paint on it. Here we are at Newbridge, which, as you can see, is actually an old bridge. And the river, which is in full flow. Over there, the waterfall. It's quite something, isn't it? Quite amazing. Could watch that all day. Old bridge called Newbridge. Last time I was here, it was a really hot day when we'd finished the walk, and I just sat down there with my feet in the cool water. Sublime. Look at it, how deep it is. Wow. We will rejoin it further along. looks so deep. You can see why on a really hot day further along people swim in it. I mean, this is a section where I swam in it once, but it was a lot calmer than this. I don't think it'd be very safe today. Now, I can't remember what it's called, but there is a spirit of the River Dart. Apparently, it mentions it in that book of poetry. I shall find out and put it on the screen. It's John something, I think. I'm not sure what water spirits actually do, or are supposed to do. River spirits. That is so beautiful, achingly beautiful. When we eventually leave the river, that's when we have a really steep climb up to Spitchwick Manor through the woods initially. Tiny little stream that joins the river, a little brook. When is it a stream? When is it a brook? When is it a beck? I think beck is more Yorkshire. Does the word beck derive from brook or vice versa? We do not know. Oh, we climbed up quite a bit, and then we'll climb down again. So clear over there. Can walk down to it there, I suppose, on those rocks in the summer when it's quieter. Could go swimming or paddling. Gets very busy, as you can imagine. I love the way it's so quiet today. These oak leaves. We've got beech, we've got oak, more oak, holly, ivy, holly and the ivy. No, it's not Christmas yet, even though the chocolates might be in the shops. It's like there's schools here today. This bit is a popular bathing spot. Those crags. You can see why, can't you? Because it's quite still here. Mole hills. Actually, not mole hills, are they? They're cowpats. A lot of cowpats. Yeah, I think moles must have to have a pneumatic drill to drill through this. But mind you, these look like mole hills. So maybe they are more cowpats. We'll leave the river soon. Let's go along the road a bit before climbing up through the woods. It's a little islandy thing in the middle there. Blue sky. Yeah, this section, it's still got stuff in it. It's where it kind of gets caught. It's a kind of pollution-y looking stuff. I wouldn't really want to go in there. Look, it's not as bad as it was last time. Last time it looked like a bubble bath. It's a shame because this could be such an obvious place to go swimming. So we leave the Dart here. I bet this sign says no swimming. No. Just camping, not permitted. People do though. Right, so we head along here. And around the corner it gets very steep. It's really wide, isn't it? Here. Was it only last week when I was cycling to Malham, or was that the week before? Following the River Aire. And then before that, the River Wharf to Bolton Abbey. Two of Yorkshire's mighty rivers. I think this is one of the most, if not the most famous of Devon's rivers. Oh, it looks really deep there. Gosh. When I said we leave the Dart here, back there, I meant we almost leave the River Dart. We go up a lane that goes up around the corner, and the Dart goes off on its merry way towards Totnes, Dartington of course, and Dartmouth. So if the challenge was to name 10 Devon rivers, we've got obviously the Dart, number 1, Exe, Tamar, Otter, I think down to Sidmouth, Ottery St Mary, that's 5, Yelm, come on, we got 4 more. The River E-R-M-E. Yep, 3 more. Can we have the West Dart and East Dart? I don't know. I think they count as the Dart. 3 more Devon rivers, please. Oh, North Devon, Torridge, Tor, T-O-W, at Barnstaple, and then that river that goes to I've got one more to do. Is it the Linton and Lynmouth? I think that is, so that's your 10. There must be a lot more. Here we go, into the woods, up to Spitchwick Manor. You can go up the lane, but it's more interesting this way. Oops, I see what... Stop! I see what that was trying to do. Stop it from doing that. Fancy a bath. I was reading yesterday that apparently horrible coloured bathroom suites from the 70s are coming back into fashion. Good God. We spent our time removing them. In one house we had a royal blue bathroom suite which showed up the hard water deposits really badly, all the calcium, whatever. And when we moved into our current house, we had an avocado suite which we removed as quickly as possible. And awful tiles to match. Can't believe they're coming back into fashion. No. Yeah, I just remembered when we were house hunting, looking for somewhere in Leeds, when we moved up from Kent. About 28 years ago. We went to look at this house and my mum said she knew the person who lived there, said it was famous for miles around for having the most amazing bathroom, modern, the latest, beautiful bathroom. I think it was someone at her church or something owned it. This bathroom has to be seen, to be believed. Well, of course it was amazing and new and state of the art around 1970. And when we went to look, it looked like the sort of thing you'd want to rip out as quickly as you could possibly do it. Sunken bath surrounded by carpet. Deep pile, shag pile, carpet. I can't remember what colour it was. I think it might have been an avocado. Yeah, no, not avocado. It was a sort of aubergine, that's the word. I knew it was another fruit or vegetable. Totally disgusting. But it did have a nice fireplace, had an arts and crafts fireplace, as I remember, downstairs. We had to rip virtually everything out of our house though when we moved in. We bought it because it was big, had an enormous garden. Incredibly dated though. It's a 1930s house and all the original features have been stripped out in the 1970s. So we spent years stripping them out and replacing them with more more contemporary stuff. Look at these trees, totally straight. We leave the woods here through a meadow. What's that going to hold? I'll tell you what we do. Oh, right. I was trying to put it the other way around. Oh well, that'll do. Oh, quite warm now. Reached the top of this bit nearly. We will be going past Spitchwick Manor, and then we'll end up back on the lane with a little climb back up to Leusdon. estate office. Now, it's Dr. Blackall, as I said earlier, who bought the Spitchwick Manor estate, and that's why he built that drive. But of course it's owned by someone completely different now. Well, of course, because Dr. Blackall would be about 200 years old. You know what I mean? Not the same family. It's a very well constructed wall, isn't it? Dry stone and all. Beautifully done. So this must be Spitchwick Manor that Dr. Blackall had as his weekend getaway residence, weekend retreat, or maybe not. Maybe it's just estate houses. This cute little brick cottage. You know, I want to live there. That's lovely. I'd love to own a little cottage like that. Oh yes. So that must be maybe the manor and the stables. Path takes us down here just to avoid going through the manor's grounds, I suppose. I always say if I won the lottery, I would buy a little cottage like that in Devon. The trouble is I never do the lottery, so I'm never likely to win it. Going to have a busy week next week editing my videos. I think it's going to be raining, so that's perfect opportunity. Also, I've got my COVID and flu booster jabs next week, so they always make me feel a bit unwell afterwards. Electric fence. Some. Look at these. Still got some. I had to make bread, of course. Oh, excuse me. I'm bitter, that one, bitter. Ugh. Loads blackberries. They're not very big and juicy, are they? No, you need a lot of those to make jam. Bet That used to be a doorway once, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it's just a horse mounting thing. I thought there was a little church here. Tiny little church. Never been here. This is sad. This window to the dear memory of Simon Bruce, Tormod Bolitho, born on the 4th of July 1905, died 1st of March 1910. He was only 5. Same family, Bolitho. Fell in action in May 1915 at the Second Battle of Ypres. How sad. It must be John the Baptist. I think this is the church of John the Baptist. Yes, it is. St. John the Baptist Church. So you got him being baptised, doing stuff, looking very medieval, and then having his head cut off.